everyone, and welcome to the home zoo. This video is going to be all about how to care for ball pythons. This here is Kaiba. He's a blue-eyed Lucy, or blue-eyed leucistic, named for the fact that they have blue eyes, and they are pure white, unlike albinos, which have the red eyes. He's only a few months old, so at this size they only need to be in a little 6-quart tub. When they get a little older, like Medusa over there, they can go in a 40-gallon tank, and typically people who keep them in tubs keep them in a 41-quart tubs. Preferably one that has a lot more surface area. They don't need to be super tall because this is not an arboreal species. They don't need to be in super big enclosures because in the wild they live in termite mounds and munch on the little rodents that climb in there. Say hi. As you can see, he's a little active because he wants to go back in his tub where it's nice and warm. This is Hercules. Definitely not a ball python. Typically, you're going to want a hot spot for them. That's from 88 to 95 degrees. The cool end of their enclosure can get from 75 to 85 degrees, with a nighttime temperature in the low 70s to 80s. You don't want to get much lower than that at night. You typically want 3 hides in their enclosure. You can have 2 though. Typically you're going to want a hide in the cool end and a hide in the warm end so that they can pick and choose to help with their thermal regulation. That's if you have a more extensive setup like I have. A lot of folks who keep in racks usually don't even have hides at all because it is so dark that it's just not necessary. For feeding, you're going to want to feed these little guys anywhere from 5 to 7 days. And this guy is eating just rat pinkies right now. He is almost ready for rat pups, but he's still a little small. When they get to be Medusa size, he gets up to medium rats. Now the adults, you're only really going to want to feed them every 2 weeks because they really don't need to eat that much. Unless, of course, you're feeding them small rats, in which case definitely feed them once a week. But you really save your money. Just feed them every 2 weeks. As far as humidity, you're going to want to keep it from anywhere from 50 to 65%. And make sure you have a good humidity gauge. Not one of those dinky ones from like ZooMed or something like that. You're going to want to get a good one. They're not super expensive. We get the Accurite from Walmart. They're only like 10 bucks. So it's not too bad. When they're shedding, if they seem to be having a little bit of a hard time shedding, please do not soak them. It's not really good for them, and it really just stresses them out. When all you got to do is just bump up the humidity a little bit. I bump mine up to about 70% when they're getting real close to shedding that skin, because I really like having those nice full sheds. You do not want to have a shed that's in a bunch of pieces. You want to have the nice complete shed. Hi, sweetheart. The only time I really recommend soaking, honestly, is if you have mites, in which case you're in trouble. So, best of luck. I'll probably post a video about mites later. But for now, I'm going to bid you adieu and put this little guy back to bed. Say good night, Kaiba. Okay, so he won't say anything. Night all.